My name is Jason Tate, and I am the fight director for Romeo and Juliet. I'm a certified teacher of stage combat with the Society of American Fight Directors. The 8 weapons that we teach as an organization are unarmed, so just fisticuffs, knife, lots of contemporary theater use, small sword, which is less known and less popular, but it's more the French era of, say, dangerous liaisons. Single sword, which is your light, zippy, Zorro, Errol Flynn, if you go back to those Three Musketeers days. Rapier and dagger, which is what you'll see some in Romeo and Juliet. Broadsword and shield, and then finally the quarterstaff, which is the giant stick of the Little John types. Beyond that, my experience fight directing sort of falls to whatever I like and enjoy the most. I do a lot of Romeo and Juliets, so I do a lot of rapier and dagger work. This is a rapier and dagger set. So this is made by a gentleman named Neil Massey of a company called Rogue Steel out of Chicago, and he's a friend and teacher and a fight director as well. But these are the same sort of weapons that the School of Theater's got in use. This is my personal set, but they look almost the exact same. So if you get a rapier approximately 36 inches in length blade-wise, some sort of hilt that's made to guard the hand and keep from getting stabbed or losing the grip on the sword. And then you've got the pommel at the very end. If you ever heard the term pommeling someone to death, that's where that comes from, just beating their head in with that. Which, you'll have that. And then this is a parrying dagger. It's about 12 inches in length, and it's got a simple cross guard again to keep the blade from sliding down onto the hand. And it's used primarily to defend against attacks that are coming from one side, to allow for the longer weapon to then reach your opponent. But on occasion it becomes an offensive weapon as well. What's unique to her cut that a lot of directors take out is the Romeo and Paris fight at the end. Paris is in the tomb of Juliet, and Romeo comes in to see her and is confronted by Paris. Most directors will move right past that. At that point they want to focus on the love story that is Romeo and Juliet and leave the additional violence out. But Carrie loves to keep additional violence in, and throughout this entire week I keep getting notes from the other rehearsal space. She'll send a stage manager over and go, Carrie added a moment. She wants like a slap here, or maybe a push here, is that okay? And I'm going, yep, just tack it on the list, we'll take care of it. So after I got her cut, then I sort of asked her, what is it you're trying to tell? What story do you want to tell? And her biggest notes for me were, I want the youth to be preserved until the climax, until the moment when everything changes. I want us to just see them as youthful, teenage or preteen. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. They're sort of toying and taunting and being playful. And then that moment in the show that happens by accident, I want everything to change almost immediately. And then I want it to be brutal and violent and necessary in order to survive and to just get out of this situation we've created for ourselves. And I said, are you okay if I try to make stomachs turn? And she said, absolutely. So outside of that, I had a conversation with the costumer looking at renderings and saying, hey, the boots that you have drawn are above the knee. And she said, sure. And I said, are they flexible at the knee? And she said, I think so. And I said, that's something we need to be aware of and check on and have an alternative if not, because they're going to go to their knees. In the interest of being brutal and violent, people will be on the ground. And they need to be able to do that without ruining everything that she's created. What's nice about the Fallon is it is a true proscenium, so I'm only having to hide angles. In other words, if I'm not going to try to stab someone, and I obviously can't actually stab them, I have to find a way to give the illusion that they've been run through, and I only have to safeguard it for that audience and for the audience that's on one side of me. When I work in a space like the lab, where I may have a thrust set up, or I may even be working in the round, then it's a little more difficult to hide some of those things. I go frequently to the back of the house and look at the fight from the back as opposed to just the front, so I can say, guys, it's not big enough. Right now I'm getting nice, light, quick fights and you're staying too close, so it looks muddy from in the back of the house. For the audience to know what's going on, I need you to really extend and open up long lines just like dancers. you get into a situation where you go see this in the professional industry and you see people who are in their 30s and 40s trying to play these characters who are 15, 16 or younger. And we've got students who are not in that age group but close enough to it that they can do a pretty effective job of attacking those raw emotions that we don't yet have a sense of how to contain within ourselves. So I think you'll see a lot truer to the original story. And on top of that, they're going to be violent and physical and actually stand up to what Shakespeare says we should do, which is hold the mirror up to nature. You don't walk into a room with an enemy or a love and not touch them. We're all about being in physical contact and what that allows the space to do. So Carrie's given me carte blanche right to do so, and she's asked for even more than what I've given her. So I think you'll see a really great, powerful, moving production.